This is part 2 of a 2-part podcast.
Put Paul's brain on your plot. Do you have a hunk of land but don't know where to start? Do you have a world-changing permaculture idea and you need some feedback? Do you feel like the guy in overalls may inexplicably hold the keys to all your wildest permaculture and homesteading dreams? Well, you're probably wrong. But if you want to give it a go anyway, you can hire Paul for a consultation. He will be all yours for a whole entire hour. Schedule your Paulversation today at permies.com/consult. permies.com/consult.
So, all right, what's next on the list?
Oh, my. I wasn't paying much attention.
Oh.
I've mentioned paddock shift to different people,
yeah.
And I was under the impression it was a lot more mainstream, that a lot of people were familiar with it, and I've had to explain it.
I would say, so when I was like 11, I went to go live with my granddad on a ranch that was owned by my uncle, Uncle Doug. And Uncle Doug, he was like really good friends with Alan Savory. So we did paddock shift, when I was 11.
So that's always been normal to you.
It has been normal, and all the people I talk to, it's kind of like that's kind of how they do also, and stuff. But so there's a lot of that. In fact, my Uncle John and my Uncle Doug will get into arguments about it. The finer points. And apparently it's gotten to be so bad that when we have family reunions, they're not allowed to talk about that. So I thought that was pretty good. But no, it's true. And I've seen permaculture people with animals, and they just leave them in the same field all the time, and there's nothing for anybody to eat there because everything's been eaten down to the dirt, and so it's just dirt. And I don't know, I try to bring it up, and they've got excuses, and it's like, all right, whatevs.
One of my favorite ones that I'm hoping one of my relatives, I can get her to try, is with her chickens, doing the paddock shift on a city lot with her chickens.
It's been done, yeah.
Yep.
It is, and it works. It's great.
And she's really close to just about your perfect way to raise chickens. She's really close.
I just kind of feel like when I was on Mount Spokane and I had a lot of chickens, and the thing is, I was selling eggs for about the same as what I was paying for the feed to get the eggs, and I was selling meat for about the same as what I was paying for the feed to get the meat. And of course, I'm buying organic feed. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, this is dumb. And I was also doing Joel Salatin's thing of the Salatin style pens, and that helped a little.
Okay.
But only a little. So that's when I started to transform everything over to paddock shift systems for the chickens, as well as all the animals I had up on Mount Spokane. And then I left that. So.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. Yeah. What's next?
Drying the clothes, like in my suburban area, there's only like 15% of the homes that have any kind of drying rack outside, like clotheslines.
Well, that's not that weird then. I mean,
Oh,
this is the list of how you're so damn weird.
Yes, I'm saying this really goofy. I don't use my dryer.
Yeah, I don't use. I can't. We have a dryer here, and whenever somebody fires it up, which is like once a year, it's kind of like, is that the dryer? Is somebody running the dryer? Why? And then you find the person, and you're like, why are you running the dryer? And, it's usually something like, I had to, but no, I've, in fact, just a few days ago, I put up a new line in my room. So, because it was like, oh, I'm so tired of when I go to wash my sheets, how the big line for my sheets, I've only got one line and my sheets don't quite fit on that. I need another line. So now I've got two lines, now one for each sheet. And it's like, so now, right now, if you go into my room, it's like, you have to walk through the tunnel of sheets.
Well, that's kind of fun.
No, sure. It's kind of cool. Yeah. So, it feels like it's out of the movies or something.
A lot of clothes nowadays, especially the store-bought stuff, have a little bit of elastane in it. And when you put that in the dryer, it ruins it because it gets hot. And it just shortens the life of your clothes.
Well, the dryer always shortens the life of all your clothes.
Yes.
Which I'm sure that the people who make clothes are like, that's awesome. And so, but I don't know. Oh, this shirt that I'm wearing now, it's only a few months old. I got this. I was the keynote speaker at this event.
I can't see it.
And they gave me a free shirt. Natural medicine. I was the keynote speaker. And there were some naturopaths there that were not the keynote speakers. So, why is this giant doofus the keynote speaker? What of us? And so, but no, I've got a bunch of, I was kind of looking at some of the shirts. I'm still like, oh, this one's finally got a hole in it. And it's like, that shirt is more than 20 years old and I wear damn near every week. In fact, I did my laundry this morning. I don't know. I have a weird system where it's like, I actually try to do my laundry every 6 days. And it has to do with the size of my laundry rack. Like, I can handle enough for like 12 days on my laundry rack. But there's a bit of it where it's like there's 6 racks on the bottom that holds my underwear perfectly. If it's every 6 days. And it's like, but I've got more space and I could, but I don't know. I've got a weird thing. Like, so I end up doing my laundry so that means a lot of those shirts get worn every 6 days. And yet they're 20 years old and, they're just now starting to show signs of wear. And I'm not sure if people with a dryer can go 2 years, let alone 20.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. They look so sad so fast.
Yeah. And so I've gotten a lot of miles on there. Here's another thing too is, when it comes to whitening,
big grin. You can't see it.
All right. So I, for a while, was trying to do a pre-soak in citric acid. And now I believe that is dumb. And I'm not going to do that anymore. And another important thing is that, I think it was a little over a year ago, we had somebody here and he was saying like, oh, if you put citric acid in with your laundry detergent, it actually boosts it and does a better job. And now I think that actually the opposite is true. Because I think that the laundry detergent, part of its cleaning thing is to make everything super duper alkaline. Like so alkaline that it ends up being whitening. And so I washed something that needed to be whiter with a lot of citric acid and no laundry detergent.
Okay.
Just citric acid. And I also tried it again with vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And it's like, ugh. And then I tried it again with the laundry detergent and baking soda, everything's alkaline.
Yes.
Wow, that worked. So, I kind of, so there, it was a little bit news to me. I've always just kind of gone with like, oh yeah, it's acid, it'll eat out whatever is the problem. But I also know that there's been a lot of times when I've used baking soda instead for cleaning things, and it's like the baking soda worked much better than the citric acid.
That's primarily what we wash our clothes in, is baking soda.
I gotta say that whenever I work with citric acid, I have to do a dumb thing where I have to wet my finger, put it in the citric acid, and lick it. Proving that you can eat it. And but also, and it's like, woo, that is sour. Yeah.
Yeah, only cleaning with things that you can eat.
Generally. Yeah. I mean, that laundry detergent, I'm not going to eat that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not using that, so.
I use laundry detergent about 1 wash out of 4. And when I do, I use about a teaspoon.
And why do you do that?
Why do I do what?
1 every 4. Why do you mix it up like that?
Mostly the time that I'll use laundry detergent is if I'm putting something in and it's got oils on it, oils or grease or something like that. Because what's in my head is that soaps and detergents are emulsifiers. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, if there's no oil or grease on this, then I think it's going to be cleaned better with either just water. And I do that probably half the time, just water. I don't put anything in there. Or with a little bit of apple cider vinegar maybe. Or a little citric acid. Generally I don't mix the apple cider vinegar with the citric acid or anything. I usually just do one thing. But if it's like, oh, there's grease on this or oil and I want to get that out, then I go for the detergent. So now you're just doing baking soda?
Almost exclusively baking soda, yes.
Okay.
And it's doing its job. If I have a spot where I got a little grease on me from cooking or something, I have some homemade lye soap, which I know you're not a huge fan of. Yeah. But I spot treat it with that, and that does the job.
We're currently using dish soap and laundry detergent that is the Oasis brand because it's for gray water systems. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking that when we run out of that, I want to try something else. I want to do a lot of looking around and find something that might be even more environmentally friendly than that stuff. And I'm not sure what that's going to be, and I'll have to research it when the time comes. But I recently posted something at Permies, and a lot of people came back with these different organizations that have done analysis and found things that were actually better for the environment than the Oasis brand stuff. And I might re-explore that, or I might go to that website that they listed and look at all the data that they compiled on each product, and see from there.
I missed that thread. I'm going to have to find it. That's fascinating. And technology is always changing.
I kind of feel like I had a lot of faith in Oasis, but now that's been shaken, and so I didn't do as much research into it, I guess, as I should have. I'm a dumbass. But okay. Being weird. Are we done with your list of weird?
Pretty much. The only thing that's left on there is my herbalism. I'm really into herbs and growing them. I grow most of my own herbs.
Yeah. You got your own little apothecary going, kind of.
Oh,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that I think the big one that we do is every year that we put up a whole bunch of mullein leaves to dry. And it's like, I don't know, that's our go-to for any kind of cough or anything like that. We do have quite the apothecary that's accumulated here over the years, but I don't see that a lot of people are doing it. I know that the Boots here have made their own fire cider many times. And that's like a big magic. I know I buy organic ginger juice because we can't grow ginger outdoors here. I suppose we could try grow it indoors. And that we go through that quite a lot, which is a big, because when we had the COVIDs here, I was hitting the crystallized ginger, which is basically candied ginger. And I think I had the COVIDs the least bad.
Oh.
And so, but I was eating fuck tons of that candied ginger. But it is really yummy. But in hindsight, I regret all that sugar. It's kind of full circle, like the bananas.
Yes.
Like from the perspective of all that I have studied about what to eat and not to eat, I would have to say that on almost everybody's naughty list is bananas. I mean, they'll say eat the fruit, eat the veg, don't eat bananas. And it's like, I wonder why bananas are always singled out. It's because it's a grain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, apothecary. And we do have a bunch of stuff here. I don't know, there's other things that we dig into and jump into. I know that when anybody hurts themselves or when people arrive here and they are hurt, it's like seconds later, comfrey, like, knit bone.
Yes.
And so, and then I know that, yarrow, a lot of people dig into the yarrow that we have here. But when it comes to a full-on apothecary, I think that most of the people here barely touch our apothecary.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Oh, well. So, yeah, it is what it is. I know Stephen, it's more like a food crop, but like mint. Oh, he puts up tons and tons of mint, but he just wants to make a mint tea. And so it's like, it's not so much medicinal. Like the stinging nettles can be medicinal depending on this and that. But I think almost everybody, they're just either eating it or they're making a tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I use the stinging nettles a lot as a nutritive. The vitamins and the minerals in that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But I kind of feel like what we do here is based on who is here and what they're into at the moment, and it changes. I wish we had a dozen people who have been here 8 years and they're going to be here forevermore. I wish that was the case, but as is, it does seem like it's more transient. We've got Stephen, who's been here almost 4 years now, and Fred is going to be back, I think, soon, and he's been here 10. Des is away right now, and he's been here 2.5 or so.
I thought Des was here longer.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to add up the time that he was actually here.
Oh.
Because right after he hit his 2-year mark, he went on a trip for a long time. Then he came back and he was here for a while. And then he went on another trip. Then he was here for a while. And then he went on another trip. And so it's like, okay.
Hi, this is Mark. There are a lot of reasons to get angry these days, but I prefer to focus on the positive things that we each can do to make this world a better place. The book, Building a Better World in Your Backyard, Instead of Being Angry at Bad Guys, is a great resource for just that. Instead of throwing my arms up in frustration at governments or big corporations, there's a list of ideas that we each can tackle to affect change. Information about this book and other resources can be found at Permies.com.
But I kind of feel like, what does it take to get to the point that you've got? So we've got a couple of the boots have been here like 4 or 5 months, maybe getting on to 6 months. But I wish we were like more, because I kind of think that if we were at the 8-year mark or something like that with like a dozen people, I think a solid apothecary would be part of it. But as is, whenever we have something, when somebody shows up and they're like, why don't you have whatever my favorite thing is? And they turn to me as if it's my responsibility to create all the things here. And it's kind of like, I feel like I do create some of the things here. But for the most part, I try to pay for stuff and, I try to take care of the online empire, but I do some of the things here, but not all.
No, that'd be impossible.
That's kind of my position. But for some people, it's like, oh, you don't have to do it all. You just do the thing that I think you should do. And it's like, well, why don't you do that? And it's like, well, I don't own this place. And it's like, so? I mean, I've had some people be like, someone said like, doing this work for Paul, meaning that what they said they did in the boot camp. And it's like, okay, how can it possibly be work? There's no business model. There's none. So it's not work. It's doing stuff. It's a shitty school. And B, how many fucking bunks do I need? I've got my bunk. How many sunchokes do I need? There's enough sunchokes growing already that I couldn't possibly do more. So if I were to tell everybody to fuck off, I'd be, here I am left with, 30 bunks and 40 rockety contraptions, and it's more than I could ever possibly use. And so it's like, this is stuff that you're doing for yourself and for future boots. This is not for me. It's, I've got, granted, I'm going to play a part in figuring out, like, what are all the boots going to work on next, but that's different. It's not for me. I don't see where I benefit from this. But I think that the idea is that, I like the idea of being part of community. And
I'm loving that part of it. I was a little surprised at how enjoyable it is.
Right. With good people.
Yes, and they're wonderful people here.
And I kind of feel like so many different communities, you go there and they're just a bunch of snotty people that don't ever do anything. And it's kind of like, and that seems to be the norm. And
this is my only experience, and I'm going to keep this one.
Oh, okay. I kind of feel like what's cool is that everybody puts in 40 hours a week on building the community, and it's like, and that's a really cool thing. And the pace is slow, so it's easy. It's not like breakneck stuff. But things move forward and things get done, and it's beautiful and delightful. And so, I don't know, it's to me, it's different than any other community I've ever visited, because all the ones I visited had a bunch of people kind of not doing anything. And then on top of that, it's like for a lot of those communities, I remember hearing about, like, everybody is expected to put in 4 hours per month, for example, and then half of them don't, and that is resentment city. And but what are you going to do? Then you got to get the 4 hours a month police. Who wants to be the police? And it's like, it just goes downhill from there. So, I don't know, I kind of feel like, this is a community of builders, a community of people that, are cool with making something. And those other communities, I don't know, they don't do anything, but I guess they had to pay money, or they have to continue to have a job in order to be able to just be there. But then somebody else had to build it, and somebody else has to grow the garden, and somebody else has to. So I don't know. I guess the idea is, I guess you're going to get money, and then you're going to go there with money, which is the old system, and it's the system which might be falling apart.
Yes, and I feel like I've got a taste of what the future can be for me.
Oh, by being here.
Yes,
by
absolutely.
Being here.
Being here. It's magical. I knew I was going to like it. It was overwhelming. Friday when we got here, I was working with the boots in the afternoon. I'm sitting in the woods. I'm working on a junk pole fence, and I'm actually crying because it was that unbelievable that this is. I'm able to be here. The community is wonderful. I'm able to do the work with them, to see the Allerton Abbey and Wafatis. I'm sorry. It's like a dream building for me, is to have a Wafati.
Oh, yeah. Wafati is amazing. I mean, Allerton Abbey is so close to being done, but it's hard to finish when there's other things that need to be done first. And so... but we have so many people right now, it's like our forward velocity is pretty good. And we'll get there. We'll get there. But I agree with your analysis. This place is great. So, but it does seem like it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. All the stuff that's here it's a lot.
And there are so many cool contraptions and different things here. And now that they have been built, not only do we have the new projects that you want to work on, but you also have the maintenance on some of the old things.
The maintenance is kind of a little brutal. I mean, for example, Allerton Abbey is a great example. It's Wafati version 0.7 beta. And when it gets done, it's going to need a lot of maintenance. Whereas now that we've learned the lessons, that when we go to, hopefully one of these days we will build Wafati 1.0, and that will probably need 1/10 of the maintenance. But because it's a prototype, people get really worried about things like, this is doing a and it's like, granted, this is not like other buildings, and this is a problem that has to do with this design. This problem is my fault, and I didn't think of that when making the design. But then we learned about that, and so now, I mean, one of the things I do is like go look at the Wafati greenhouse.
Oh my goodness, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The wing walls are. When you talk about the greenhouse, you're always thinking about the inside. But one of the things that strikes me the most is the storage that they have built into the wing walls.
I think that the big thing is that the greenhouse has a lot of the things that we have learned in there. And so I think that building's going to last 10 times longer than Allerton Abbey. But, people want to point at the issues with Allerton Abbey, and it's like, version 0.7 beta. We learned a lot by building this. And it still isn't done. We need to finish it up. And a lot of people don't want to work on Allerton Abbey. They want to move on to the next project. And it's kind of like, that's fun to think about, and we can start to design what the next will be. But it's like, I feel like we've got to finish Allerton Abbey, then finish Cooper Cabin. Cooper Cabin's only 40% built. And there's so much to do there. And somebody's like, I want to go and plant this big garden out and that big pile of dirt out front. And it's like, no, that big pile of dirt goes on the roof. Your garden's going to get kilt. And so, why is it just sitting there and getting so old? Yeah, I have to ask the same question. Well, where's all my boots? So, I've had a lot of people telling me that in the next few months, permaculture is going to 100x.
That's exciting.
And it has to do with politics and stuff, which I don't fully understand and I don't believe so much. It was brought up recent, like this morning, and someone is like, politics, and they talked about the liberals and the conservatives and whatnot, and I said, all the people I know that are liberals are certain that I'm a conservative. Huh. And all the people that are conservatives are certain that I'm a liberal. And all of the people that are, what's the word? Libertarian. All the people that are libertarian are certain that I'm a libertarian. But I'm none of those things. I'm a gardener doing my best to avoid all those political shitty topics. So I'm not really sure what's going on. And I think I'm much happier for it. And whenever anybody brings it up, I start thinking about, have I planted enough skirret? Because that's something you can harvest in the winter, and I'm trying to beef up all the things that can be harvested in winter, and I want to try them all out. That's where I'm at. Although we did have a peach tree thing. We wanted to order a peach tree, and apparently we can't. They won't ship it to Montana because of laws and regulations and stuff. So I said, I promised everybody that we're gonna, so there's a gal, Jackie, who used to be a boot, and she manages a peach farm.
Okay.
We'll get a big box of peaches from her this year.
Okay.
We've gotten boxes of peaches from her in the past. We'll get a big box of peaches, and then we'll probably can the peaches, and then they'll take all the pits and we'll plant them everywhere.
And then you don't need to have a peach tree shipped.
Exactly. Now we've had maybe a couple dozen peach trees growing here, and one of them got to be about 12 feet tall. And I said something like, well, you either got to water it or you're going to have to lay down like 12 inches of mulch or something. And everybody thought I was full of shit and stupid, and it died from lack of water.
Gosh darn.
And so it's like, no, well, there it goes. And all the peach trees that started from pit are gone now. But all the apple trees that started from seed, they are all over the place.
They really are. They're everywhere. It's cool.
And they're blooming right now, waving their flag. So, and we've got some apple trees which not only are winter keepers, but one apple tree last year had its apples in I think it was like late November, and I'm thinking like maybe, and when we ate them they were a little astringent, so I'm thinking like maybe we should have harvested them in December or January. But we had a plum that held on to its plums until mid-December. And I'm kind of thinking like that's the kind of thing I want to encourage, stuff that you can harvest that has a huge harvest window, especially in winter.
You'll have your own land race for it.
Oh, well, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. All right. Anything else? Any questions? Any other observations about this place? I do think that there's probably about 100 things or more that are going to fall into the space that you were saying is weird. Or at least the way you were describing, like your neighbors would say it's weird.
I don't think it's weird.
Okay.
Others do.
Okay. So, I mean, I do kind of wonder if maybe we should restrict willow feeders to just the lab, because I'm a little concerned about anybody coming here to base camp and they might be a level 0 person and the willow feeder might be too much.
But that's not their only option. I would be heartbroken if you moved them all to the lab. I love the willow feeders and the shower. The shower is one of my favorite things.
With the rocket water heater?
Oh my gosh, I love that. It's heaven.
Yeah. So the showers are going now. I think the willow feeders are a big thing. Did you see the couch balcony?
I did. I did not go up there, but yes.
Okay.
I want to go up there, and maybe we could watch that movie.
Right. I was suggesting a couple of movies. And then, I don't know. So you're staying at the Red Cabin, and of course the rocket mass heater in there has the cob hat. And I was talking about that earlier today. And, I'm trying to think of like, what are other, the berm shed.
I love to look at that. I actually wander over there and I just stare at the construction because I really enjoy round woodworking.
Yeah. I know that me and Samantha went with us, and this was like years ago, Des and Magdalene. We all went up to Sandpoint. I was the keynote speaker at this event in Sandpoint. And I went a day early, and they've got this interesting bridge transformed into a mallish like thing. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, and it's like, but the thing is, it was roundwood timber framing, and so Magdalene and Des kind of couldn't be bothered, but Samantha and I went and stared at the joinery. Mm-hmm. And we studied it for probably an hour, like going to the different bits of this structure, this massive structure, and how they did their joinery. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. But yeah, the berm shed has its joinery. I think that the new firewood racks that are kind of mounted in front of the berm shed, kind of as being part of the berm shed, I think it's handsomifying it a lot, because inside the berm shed is stuff. It's storage.
Yes.
And storage of stuff is not as handsome as it could be. But if there's wood racks kind of a little closer to you, the stuff kind of ends up being in shadow a bit. And the wood racks are getting all the light. And so it looks like an interesting wood racky kind of thing. It's almost like we made a cordwood building, sort of.
It does look nice. I think there's 3 or 4 of them over there now.
Yeah, 4 or maybe 5.
Okay.
But it's, we're doing more and more and more, and I think it's getting more and more handsome. I think it looks really nice now. I like that. There's a lot of dry stack rock stuff here and there. I don't know if you've managed to see much of that. But then, of course, the hugelkulturs are probably bigger than what you're used to seeing.
Yes, quite a bit bigger. And I love how steep you have them. Yeah. That will be my goal with mine. I don't know that I'll get there, but I can try.
You just need to give it bones on the inside to hold that shape. That's all. It's easy. And we got some junk pole fence. We got, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff. There's the yoga yurt. We were talking this morning about, getting more activity to go into the yoga yurt. I've been working on my little trail up at the caldera. I don't think you've gotten up that far.
Not yet.
Okay.
Maybe not this afternoon, but for sure this weekend. That's a goal. I have to go up there before I leave.
You saw the moon gate.
Oh, I love the moon gate. I can't tell you how many pictures I've taken.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty artsy. So, all right. I do think that permaculture people, it'll be a good group here. I'm kind of amazed. I would think that almost everybody would want to be here in the winter, if nothing else, just to kind of firsthand experience a rocket mass heater. Because when it is cold outside, I think it's something that's hard to understand until you see it run and feel the amount of heat after it's like, well, wait, I just put like 3 little bits of kindling in there and we're getting this much heat? So people that have operated a wood stove before, I think those are the people that would be the most stunned. But it's like, it's hard to wrap your head around until you see it in action, feel it in action, especially in winter. Like when it's really cold. So, and of course there's tons of, and you ran the rocket oven.
I did. I had fun. We did cookies and asparagus and onions, and then we took some of that and I put it into a frittata. So we baked a frittata, and the cookies, there was one for everybody, and somehow that didn't happen. It's kind of funny. They were that good.
Okay. I know some of the asparagus came out of our gardens because there was that one asparagus.
So some of it's from Wheaton Labs, and then I had some store-bought asparagus that I had brought with me. There was absolutely no comparison on flavor. The store-bought stuff is like, nah. And then you've got the stuff from Wheaton Labs, and it is so sweet.
They were weird looking. They were kind of fat. They were like, they'd gotten, they were beefy. We are industrial strength asparaguses. We are the king of asparaguses. They were like only, 8 inches long or something.
Oh, I don't even think they were.
But they were thick. They were like an inch thick. And they're like,
Yummy.
Okay, all right. So, I don't know, did you grab any other foods from our gardens for any of this stuff?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would.
We have lovage back there.
You do?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, it's just right back here.
Okay.
Yeah. And the rhubarb's coming on right now. And so I'm surprised. I know that Melissa's been making pies like all the damn time, and she's made several rhubarb pies. But yeah, she's got like a different kind of pie coming out every 3rd day or so. Because y'all look pie deficient.
We must, yes. Yeah. And by the way, the one from last night is gone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. What kind was it?
That was rhubarb.
Okay, was it rhubarb? Okay, all right. So, which makes sense with the rhubarb coming on and all. Anyway, all right. Anything else? Nope. If you like this sort of thing, come on out to the forums at Permies.com, where we talk about my delightful place. Homesteading and permaculture all the time.
I'm Edward Norton. No, not that one, the other one, and I love pies. No, not that kind, the other kind. Hermes is an old-school forum packed full of friendly people who occasionally give out a slice of pie. You'll never forget your first slice of pie. It made me feel so good, I had to buy a whole pie so I could share the love. Oh, and there's apples too. Sign up at permies.com to join in the world of homesteading and permaculture, and you too might get a slice of pie.